Call this meeting to order on this day, Monday, October 26, 2015. If Clerk Kornecki could please call the roll for us.
Yes, Trustee Aiello. Trustee Bolfus.
Here.
Trustee Kazone.
Here.
Trustee Case.
Here.
Trustee Taglia.
Here.
Trustee Wagner.
Here.
President Bullwinkle.
Here. All right, if we could all please rise for the pledge. We have special guests here with us tonight, Boy Scout Troop 140, going to lead us in the pledge tonight, okay? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to ask everybody to remain standing for one more second. I'm going to ask Trustee Wagner to lead us in the prayer tonight.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that might affect the residents, staff, businesses, surrounding communities, and all those that enter the village of Villa Park. And continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. All right. For those of you with us tonight, we have agendas in the rack on the door coming into the chamber. Item number 3 on the Committee of the Whole is amendments of the agenda. Anybody on the board have any amendments to the Committee of the Whole agenda? We good? Okay. Moving on to item number 4 on the Committee of the Whole, appointments to commissions. This is Morgan Rickel, an appointment to Planning and Zoning Commission. Term good through 10/26/15 through 4/30/18. May I have a motion for the appointment?
Madam President.
Oh, Trustee Taglia.
I'll move for the appointment.
Okay, and Trustee Kazone?
I'll second it.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote on the appointment.
Trustee Bolfus.
Yes.
Trustee Case.
Yes.
Trustee Kazone.
Yes.
Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
Trustee Taglia.
Yes.
President Bullwinkle.
Yes. Okay, congratulations to Morgan Rickel. She could not be with us tonight, but we'll catch her at the next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, get you sworn in, so thank you. Item number 5 on the Committee of the Whole, consider an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, annexing territory to the Village of Villa Park, 2 North 151, 2 North 141, and 909 North Ardmore Avenue. Manager Keener?
Thank you, Your Honor. The village is seeking annexation of 2 North 151, 2 North 141, and 909 North Ardmore Avenue. These properties are surrounded on 3 sides by the Village of Villa Park and the Village of Addison on the 4th side. These properties receive water and garbage services from the Village of Villa Park. Staff believes this annexation will improve emergency services for these parcels and recommends approval of the annexation ordinance. To finalize this annexation, staff proposes that this evening, Monday, October 26th, will be Committee of the Whole reading on Monday, November 9th. The first reading of the ordinance will occur, and then Monday, November 16th, will be the second and final reading, which will occur. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the public in regards to this item?
Would you like, Your Honor,
Oh.
you like Patrick?
Yes, Patrick, sure. Come on up. That's great. Thank you. Patrick Grill, our Director of Community Development, is going to add a few more details for us first. So.
Yes,
All right.
I've met with the 3 owners on a number of occasions since the last time they were on a board agenda. The items that were of most concern was obviously how long they could keep their septic fields, how long they could keep their driveways.
Okay.
And we got those worked into the draft ordinance that you have this evening. Late last week, one of the owners at 2N141 contacted me about the ability to, if and when he does pave his driveway, whether or not he could expand it in the front. So what I have this evening
More paperwork.
for paperwork.
Yeah,
yes.
it's okay. We'll take it. Thank you. What you got for us here? Let's see. This is a memo with an addition to the ordinance that Patrick Groh will explain in a second, so.
The owner at 2N141 wished to expand his driveway. If you turn on the last page, normally, if you were trying to do a driveway expansion, we would allow that you only put in enough for one additional car space and then angle it before you get back to the apron. In this particular instance, he would like to have just a 2-car width driveway. The owner to the north and the owner to the south both have 2-car driveway widths as they enter and exit upon North Ardmore, and he would just like the opportunity to do the same thing. So I have put some additional language specifically in Section 4 of the draft ordinance that you have in front of you. That specifically references this exhibit and the ability to do up to an 18-width driveway expansion when he does pave it. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any particular questions the board may have.
Well, we'll toss it to the public first, so don't go far. Anybody from the public? Any questions about this? Seeing none, okay, we'll toss it up to the board then. Anybody? Trustee Gazon.
Just a quick question. I know that one of the concerns was about keeping their addresses. They'll still keep the current address?
They will still keep their current addresses. We're not proposing or recommending that those change at this point.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Trustee Bolfus.
So now this draft that was given to us tonight by the director, this will become part of the what we vote on tonight?
We're not voting on it tonight.
Well, okay, but
Yes.
part of what, to move it on, okay, so it could be in.
We're good.
Okay, got it.
Okay, Trustee
got it.
Case.
Getting cut off. Al,
You good?
Go ahead.
Okay, are you good?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, now I'm done.
Are you done? Okay.
Could you get a copy from Zillow on this? That, like an overlook of it, what it's gonna look like with the driveway in front of the house?
It should be,
I'd rather see
Oh.
it where the driveway comes into the house. Is it blocking, the driveway gonna be like running into the house?
yes, because the house currently sits relatively close to the south property line to the extent that really only a 1-car width driveway can go along the side of the house to the detached garage in the rear yard. Almost exactly as it shows on this exhibit, except that the garage in back is actually a 2-car garage and not a single-car width garage.
Oh, that's that.
Okay. Trustee Case, how you doing? You have
I
any-
just saw it.
No, but are you any other questions though?
No,
I want to make sure
anymore.
we got y'all. Good, okay. Anybody else? Trustee Wagner.
Just a question. If properly maintained, what is the life of a septic system?
Good question. If properly maintained, it could last a significant period of time. What that might be could last decades if maintained properly.
And how do we keep track of this? I mean, we have the ordinance, of course, but, I mean, 20 years from now, I may still be on the board, but I don't know if it's... Just about how do we track this? Is this something that it goes to the recorder as well? Do they, I mean...
The ordinance obviously be recorded, but
Okay.
what is the real thing that will keep everything moving forward is the fact that in order to get the septic system, you have to get a permit from DuPage County. It has been DuPage County's health department policy to not allow reconstruction of septic fields if sanitary sewer is available in the right of way in front of those homes. And in this particular instance, it is.
Okay.
So the county would not give them a permit to do a new septic field because the sanitary is in the street in front of them.
That's all I have.
Okay. Anybody else?
Just one
Yes,
quick
Trustee
one.
Paglia.
So Patrick, you've spoken to the residents and everyone's pretty much in agreement with the annexation process at
Yes.
this point, so everyone's happy?
Yes.
As happy as they're going to be?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. That's it.
Okay. Anybody else? I guess my only question is, sorry, is, does this deviate far from what we already have on the books? Because I know we've had some questions from some residents about garages and, driveway, you know what I mean? So how does this, if at all, impact any of those requests that have come forward to planning and zoning or ultimately up here?
Well, the two particular issues that are memorialized in this draft ordinance, basically the septic system and the driveways, are requirements that upon notice, we can request that anybody who currently has a gravel driveway to pave their driveway. And the same thing with the septic field. Since the sanitary is in front, we can request that they tie in. Given the nature of this particular annexation and the cost and financial considerations that are being placed upon the properties being annexed, we felt that it was right to give them a certain amount of time before we actually require them to do that.
Okay.
One more quick one.
Sure, yeah, Trustee Case.
Do we have an ordinance on how many cars are allowed to be parked in a driveway?
We say that cars have to be parked on a hard paved surface, and that, no, so
Above
long
the
as,
sidewalks, not covering the sidewalk.
no, because the sidewalk is not in, it's got to be on private property on a hard paved surface.
But is there a limit?
No,
No.
no.
They should run
I'm sorry if this was, anybody else, first of all? Any other questions? Sorry if this was already covered earlier. So this would be an extra pad in the front of the
Correct.
house? Was there any consideration of putting it in the back? I don't know how that would work, but just for the sake of conversation.
Because it's more for, he feels he needs a place if guests come to visit, and they wouldn't want them pulling all the way around to the back side of the house.
So I know there's a concern with extra cars, and, we've had that conversation many times over up here in planning and
Right.
zoning meetings too.
That's why staff felt by limiting it to no more than 18 feet in width, you're not going to get any more than 2 cars wide.
Got it.
These particular lots are extremely deep. They're not likely to ever come close to meeting lot coverage requirements. These lots are well over 300 feet deep, so
Yeah.
that particular issue, well, it won't be an issue. So,
And runoff and flooding, water, that won't be an issue either? No?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. Okay, any last minutes? Just with Trustee Case, okay. All right, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes?
Trustee Paglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
President Bolton?
Yes. Okay, item number 6 on the Committee of the Whole. Consider an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the procedures for administration for administrative adjudication to comply with Public Act 99-0293. Manager Keener?
Thank you, Your Honor. Public Act 99-0293 became effective August 6, 2015, and authorized both non-home rule and home rule municipalities to undertake enforcement of ordinance violations using a single procedure for administrative adjudication. This includes the enforcement of decisions of a hearing officer in a non-home rule municipality by the same process as a home rule municipality. This ordinance would amend the current administrative adjudication process to comply with the state legislature. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Any questions and comments from the public in regards to this item? Okay. How about the board? Anybody from the- Okay, Trustee Bolfus.
What's the change? What is the change that we can do now that we couldn't do before?
Okay, sure.
The difference is that the decision of the hearing officer is a final decision, that we can take that to enforcement. So if it's a lien against property because of failure to improve the property, we can lien the property, and that lien is now effective without going to have an enforcement, but we can immediately start foreclosure. If it's a money judgment, we can immediately go to the circuit court for citation to discover assets, to lien bank accounts, etc. Prior to this bill, in order for us to be able to foreclose or garnish wages or do anything to enforce, to put teeth in our ordinance, we had to first go up to the circuit court of the county, affirm the judgment, and then go to enforcement. So this is taking out a step, which is very, very important. There still is due process available to the property owner, alleged violator, etc., because there's always appeal rights. But this is a procedure now that has been in effect for home rule municipalities since 1998. And finally, what's the difference? If you're home rule, you have this shorter way of enforcement. If you're not home rule, finally, thank God, there's been some realization that the difference should not exist.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. Anybody else? We good? Okay. Roll call vote.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
President Bowinkle?
Yes. Item number 7 on the committee of the whole, consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing an engineering services agreement between the Village of Villa Park and RJN Group Incorporated for the engineering design services for the 2016 sewer rehabilitation program at a cost of $98,930. Manager Keener?
Thank you, Your Honor. The village's 2008 sanitary sewer master plan identified various sanitary sewer system improvements to be funded through low-interest loans. Village staff wishes to proceed with preparations of plans and specification work elements to be designed, which include sanitary sewer relining, point repairs, and manhole rehabilitation. RJN Group has submitted a proposal to provide the necessary design services at a cost of $98,930. The design work itself will be IEPA loan eligible. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Any questions and comments from the public in regards to this item? Okay, seeing none. Any questions or comments from the board? Trustee Gazone.
Just got one question. You know, I was reading through some of the contract with RJN. This does not include any kind of repairs, right? No point repairs or anything. This is just strictly design work?
Yes.
Okay. That's good.
We good? Okay. Thank you, Vetus. All right. Anybody else? We good? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
President Bowinkle?
Yes. Okay. Item number 8 on the committee of the whole. Consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. On May 12, 2014, the Villa Park Board of Trustees approved a resolution for the development of a Parks and Recreation Master Plan. The plan is available for resident review on the village website, www.invillapark.com, as well as hard copies available at both community centers, Village Hall, and the library. Discussions on the plan have also taken place at several commission meetings. Staff recommends approving the plan. The draft plan was presented to the Villa Park Board of Trustees on September 28, 2015. And Your Honor, I do believe we have a guest
Yes.
in the audience along with the president of the Parks and Rec Commission.
Awesome. Would y'all like to come to the podium and talk a little bit about the plan? You're welcome to. Come on up. Wanna come on up? Come on. Don't have to be shy. Come on up.
And your name's on.
We're going at James today.
Thank you so much.
I just thought you'd like to meet
Yeah,
tonight.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nothing told you.
Nice to meet you, Joe. All right. Okay, Cheryl, take
Okay.
it away.
As the chairman of the Park and Rec Board, I'm here to represent our committee members to
Yes.
come up here to tell you that we have as a committee, approved this and are asking you to approve it for us also. We feel it's a good plan and that he set up proper procedures for it. I mean, you can ask him questions on it, but we have looked at it several times, and we have asked several questions of him to go through it, and from what the public's concerns were, we did address those the best we could for what the plan was set up. So the public has been aware of it. We have not had public participation in the last 2 meetings, little to our concern. We were hoping they would show up beforehand if there was concern. So we feel if they didn't show up, maybe there wasn't any concerns at this point. As a board, we are letting you know that if you do this plan, that we are, as we proceed from park to park, we have, as a committee, decided that we will open it to the public to bring their concerns to our committee about all the procedures as we go through. Just to let you know, we're not just saying that we have decided we will announce to the public as we go from park to park to open their concerns too on what we're doing on the parks.
Thank you. All right. Would you all like to add anything?
Good
Come on
evening.
up. Hi.
First of all, I'd like to thank the board. About a year ago, the board approved the process to move forward with a master plan. We've never had one in place before, and it was kind of a shoot from the hip to try to get things done when they came up. So I think we have a really good document. Dan Dalzell from 3D Design is here. He can talk about maybe a little bit more of the guts of the plan. We started a little less than a year ago with staff and Recreation Commission input meetings. We developed a survey. We went out to the public with 2 surveys. We had 5 or 6 community input meetings, and through all that work, we finally have a final document. As Cheryl did mention, it's a living document, and when we get to a particular park, we will go to that neighborhood, ask for their input on playgrounds, the type of things we're going to do, and get the community, the neighborhood's input on what's going to be done with the park. So we're very excited. The big one will be the pools, of course, and that'll be a few community input meetings on what to do with the pools. But we're ready to move forward. And with that, I'll pass it on to Dan, and he can maybe explain a little bit more of the guts of the plan.
That sounds great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
Hi,
good
Dan.
evening, Madam President, trustees, staff, everyone. This has been a tremendous process, and we have been so honored to be a part of it. We've enjoyed it thoroughly. It really has been a community-wide effort. And we were, as they mentioned, real briefly, it was develop an inventory. What all do you have? What do you need? From a comparison standpoint, we looked at the demographics of the whole community. We looked at goals and objectives for the commission and make them coincide with the comp plan so that the whole Park and Rec document has its goals and objectives set out. Then we went ahead and we looked at surrounding communities and said, okay, what do they got? And how do you compare? And did a full comparison of 8 different communities for you. Then, as mentioned, we developed the public input survey. We put that on the website. We mailed it. We got lots and lots of, we got great input there. I think it ended up over 12% return rate, which is really good.
Yeah.
And we got great input from that. As mentioned, we had 6 different public input meetings targeted at specific elements within the Parks and Rec area, the pools, the paths, the playgrounds, the rec center. So we really covered all the ground, seniors, so we tried to hit every interest group so that everybody had a really good opportunity to voice their opinion and say what they'd like. We then developed the system-wide recommendations and went into, I think, elaborate detail, park by park by park by park, with detailed recommendations and actual conceptual plans for each and every one of them. And finally, with the commission's help, we developed a listing of priorities for you. So there's kind of an A, B, and a C priority level. And as mentioned before, this is a dynamic document, so that you as a board every year will look at the priorities, and as times and finance and other things change, the environment changes all the time. So those things are easy to shift around. We're actually putting it in a 3-ring binder so that pages can be added or removed, but it makes it a flexible, dynamic document. And we've started the first project. Hopefully you will get by and see Cortese, so it looks great. They just finished the sidewalks, and we're actually ahead of schedule. So with that, again, I would like to compliment you for taking that step, and we've been honored to be a part of the process, and now I would happily answer any questions.
We're going to toss it out to anybody from the public. Anybody has any questions from the public, and then we'll get into the meetup here.
Where's my Nike missile?
Let's go.
Yeah. So, okay. So seeing none from the audience, we'll toss it up here. Anybody from the board have anything to say? Looking on both sides. Trustee Wagner.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to say that I really appreciate all the effort that you did, staff, and the advisory commission did to provide as many opportunities as possible for members of the public to give their opinions on what the master plan should look like. I thought that was a really great effort. I was especially interested, the page that I wanted to look at was what the master plan envisions for Lufkin Park, and I thought that was interesting. And I appreciate all the detail with walking paths, etc. So I just think it's a great finished product, and just thanks to everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? No? Good. How about over here? We all good? Yep. Just basically what everybody else has said. Just thank you for all. I know there's a lot of heavy lifting involved with this, and you fielded a lot of questions when the residents would come to the meetings, and you did a really good job addressing those questions and any concerns that may have come up. Change is difficult sometimes. We're doing a lot of change in Villa Park now, so lots coming at residents, but it's all for the greater good, we hope. So we appreciate the entire commission. We have some members here today, so thank you for your service on the commission and for putting so much time and energy into this with the staff. So appreciate it, with you, of course, too. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to do a roll call vote.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
President Bowie?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, item number 9 on the Committee of the Whole. Consider resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a license agreement for a portion of the Ardmore Avenue public right-of-way between the Village of Villa Park and the owner of 1635 South Ardmore Avenue in Villa Park, Illinois. Manager Keenan?
Thank you, Your Honor. The property owner at 1635 South Ardmore Avenue wishes to landscape and to continue to maintain said landscaping in the parkway in front of the building. A license agreement would be needed to grant the property owner permission for the proposed construction, maintenance, and use of the right-of-way. Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. Any questions or comments from the public in regards to this item? Okay, seeing none. How about the board? Anybody from the board? Question? Good.
Yeah.
Trustee Bolfus?
We got in our packet a copy of the landscape plan, and is anyone here from the building? No. Very nice landscaping plan. I think they, with the trees and the shrubs, and I think the building will look really nice. And if they want to take charge of the parkway, go ahead and do it, because the plan looks really good. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Thank you. Okay, roll call vote.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
President Bowinkle?
Yes. Item number 10, the Committee of the Whole. Consider resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a license agreement for a portion of the public alley between the Village of Villa Park and the owner of 133 East Congress Street in Villa Park, Illinois. Manager Keenan?
Thank you, Your Honor. The property owner at 133 East Congress Street currently has a paved driveway in the alley right-of-way and wishes to continue to maintain the driveway. A license agreement would be needed to grant the property owner permission for the proposed maintenance and use of the right-of-way. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Anybody from the public wish to ask any questions about this item?
I currently live at the address.
Oh, do you have questions? If you do, I need to have you come to the podium. No? Okay. All righty then. That's okay. Just people at home can't hear you or see you, so we need to capture you for the record. So, okay, you're good? All right. Anybody else before I toss it up to the board? Okay. Anybody on the board have any questions about this item? No? Are we good? No? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Okay. Item number 11 on the Committee of the Whole. Consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, establishing the regular meeting dates of the Villa Park Board of Trustees for calendar year 2016. Manager Keener?
Thank you, Your Honor. The Village Park Municipal Code contains various references to holidays and meetings. On an annual basis, the Villa Park Board of Trustees establishes and approves an annual meeting calendar of the Village of Villa Park Board of Trustees. Staff recommends that the President and the Board of Trustees pass a resolution to establish the meeting dates for the Villa Park Board of Trustees for the 2016 calendar year. Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. Anybody from the public? Any questions about this item? Okay. How about the board? Pretty straightforward stuff. I have just a quick question. We put all of these dates on the village website, correct? And
That's correct.
And they're also posted at Village Hall too. We've talked about doing like a master calendar, and maybe we'll revisit that where we put as much of everything going on in town that our service organizations are involved in, the village. Anybody else that would like to potentially submit something for this master calendar, that could be very helpful. So we'll probably be working on that too. So, but our calendar's on the website for you and posted at Village Hall. Okay, thank you. And do a roll call vote.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Item number 12 on the Committee of the Whole. Consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a holiday schedule for 2016. Manager Keener?
Thank you, Your Honor. The Villa Park Municipal Code contains various references to holidays. On an annual basis, the Villa Park Board of Trustees establishes and approves an annual holiday schedule determining when village buildings will be closed. Staff recommends that the President and the Board of Trustees pass a resolution to establish the 2016 holiday schedule. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Any questions and comments from the public about this one? Okay, seeing none. How about the board? Any questions here? Okay. Roll call vote.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Item number 13, consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, urging the Governor and General Assembly to protect full funding of motor fuel tax. Manager Keener?
Thank you, Your Honor. The motor fuel tax, otherwise known as MFT revenue, has traditionally been collected by the state of Illinois and has been redistributed to municipal governments to enable them to provide services to taxpayers. The budget impasse at the state level has resulted in a reduction in the local share of the motor fuel tax, which would have a significant impact on road construction and road maintenance within the village. Loss of the state shared tax revenue would reduce Villa Park's MFT by $540,000. This resolution formally opposes the reduction of MFT to local government. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any questions and comments from the public about this item? Okay, seeing none. Questions and comments from the board? Trustee Wagner.
Just a question about these resolutions. Are we going to make sure that these get to the governor and the legislative leaders?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, if they're approved this evening, I will transmit those to Brad Cole, the Executive Director of IML, and then Brad Cole will distribute those with the other resolutions from across the state.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Any other questions? You all okay down there? Good. Okay. Oh, trustee Gazon.
Do we know of a lot of municipalities are doing these resolutions? Is it here or there, or most of them are doing?
The answer to that is yes. Yes, they are. Yes. Want our voice to be heard. A lot of money here. So, okay, we're good? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
President Bowinkle?
Yes. Item number 14, consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, urging the Governor and General Assembly to protect full funding of Local Government Distributive Fund, LGDF, revenues. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The local share of the Local Government Distributive Fund, otherwise known as LDGF revenue, i.e. income tax revenue, has traditionally been collected by the state of Illinois and has been redistributed to municipal governments to enable them to provide services to taxpayers. To assist with balancing the state government's budget and reducing its deficit, Governor Rauner has proposed a 50% reduction in the Local Government Distributive Fund revenue. Any reduction in this revenue would have a significant impact on local government and the services it provides to its residents. If approved, Governor Rauner's proposal would reduce the Village of Villa Park's Local Government Distributive Fund revenue by $1.1 million. This resolution formally opposes any reduction of LGDF revenue to local governments. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any questions and comments from the public about this item? Okay, seeing none. Questions and comments from the board? Anybody? Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
President Bowinkle?
Yes. Item number 15 on the committee of the whole is convene to the formal agenda. Let's do a little bit of paper shuffling here. All right. Item number 1 on the formal is the village president's report, and we have a guest here from the Lions Club, Bill Reeves, who would like to present a check to the village. This is from Oktoberfest, so I'd like you to come up to the podium. And we've got a couple other folks. There we go. Yes, I know. I'm looking to my right. Yes. You're all dolled up, though, in your vest and everything. So we've got Kevin Wachtel, our finance director, and Vitas Jaskalis, our director of public works, also members.
I got the short stick.
So take it away.
Villa Park Lions would like to present the Village Villa Park check for $4,566 from Oktoberfest.
Thank you.
And we would appreciate that Madam President and all the trustees that helped us with our event to make it a success.
Oh, you're very well. It was our pleasure to help out in any way that we can. So, yes, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Still got some tokens. They're gonna be good next year.
That might be like the state of Illinois check.
Right, there you go. Exactly. Put the rubber check. Yes, yes. And Bill reminds us that we have the real check, but it's nice to have this prop too, so it's nice. Thank you very much. We appreciate the support, so we appreciate your involvement too. So a lot of time and effort, but you do a lot of great work in Villa Park, and we appreciate your service very much so, very, very much. So thank you again. Okay, just a few more things under my report. My typical question in regards to staff update on various projects happening here in Villa Park. We've got Cortese Veterans Park that's under renovation now. We've got street projects and all sorts of things. So if Director Jaskalis, if you'd like to come forward then, I guess. Yeah, without the check. Looks great. Yeah, just some updates on how everything's going. Of course, the streetscape project too. Neglected to mention that.
First, I'll preface everything that everything I say for this week is weather dependent, because we are expecting the remnants of the hurricane to be impacting the Midwest. We are going to be getting at least one day of rain and more. So, Bill, some of these may be delayed until next week
Okay.
if they decide to hold off until the weather clears up.
Yeah, that's fine.
But having said that, 2015 street resurfacing program, as some of you may have noticed, the alley has been ground, so they're preparing that for overlay. Second, third, and Bierman, they started doing the driveway restorations, and weather dependent, they're looking at final paving on Second, Third, and Bierman as well. And preliminary paving on Division also, if, again, the weather allows. So a lot of paving is planned for this week in general, but they're gonna cautiously watch to see what happens. Concrete project, all the work's completed, just restoration and punch list. So that project is substantially complete. Ardmore Streetscape, they're going to be starting on concrete work on the west side. East side is pretty much done. Electrical work is going to continue. As I mentioned earlier, they're going to put in probably just the bases, but not actually put up the light poles until the spring. And then the west side, they'll go as far as they can until the weather changes. North Avenue Townhome, nothing going on last week, still waiting for delivery of the standby generator and the electrical panel. So once those are delivered, work will resume there. Park Boulevard, bid opening is this Thursday. So we hope to have that before the village board at the next board meeting. North Princeton Water Main, contracts have been signed. Preliminary work will start on Wednesday, but they're going to wait until after Halloween to actually start work in earnest. Twin Lakes, asphalt resurfacing is scheduled to start tomorrow, so we'll see if they come in and how far they get. Parking lot, end of this week, beginning next week for the museum lot. And, we did talk to Carol Marcus today, so she's aware, and they are anxious, I would guess.
And speaking of that, are we able to do another ingress, on the other side that faces, what is that, Central, I believe?
There's going to be no geometric changes just because of how late it is. We're going to be tearing up all the curves when we reduce Central, so we're going to basically hold off on any decisions on that until we do the full road project.
Sounds good.
So just cosmetic work for now, pretty much.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. Just a couple more things. Speaking of Veterans Cortese Park, there is a commemorative memorial brick program that's been underway where individuals, families, businesses, and organizations have the opportunity to honor men and women who have served their country with a memorial brick paver. They can be engraved with a veteran's name and can be installed as a tribute to your loved one. Each brick is 8 by 8 and costs $50. Up to 3 lines of text is available. You can submit your checks in order form to the Villa Park VFW Post 2801. If you have any questions about this program, you can also call Village Hall at 630-592-6052, and we'll answer your questions on that. But it's a nice little commemorative thing that we're doing here. Also, just another reminder that free yard waste pickup began on Monday, October 19th, and it goes until Friday, December 4th. That means you don't have to put a sticker on your bag, and there's unlimited numbers of bags that can be put on the curb of your brush and waste. So don't forget that. Also, Knights of Columbus is going to be holding an all-you-can-eat pancake breakfast on Sunday, November 1st from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at St. Alexander's Church in the gym there, which is at 300 South Cornell Avenue. And so you get scrambled eggs, ham, sausage, French toast, pancakes, juice, milk, coffee, and more. Breakfast is $8 for adults and $4 for kids. And proceeds go to local charities. And just coffee with the board reminder, Saturday, November 7th, 9 a.m. at Village Hall. And then finally, a reminder, trick-or-treating hours is from 3 to 7 p.m. this Saturday night, so from 3 to 7. And that's all I have on my list here. So moving on to item number 2, public comments on agenda items. This is regarding item number 4 on the formal agenda, so if anybody has anything on their mind, speak now. Alrighty then. If you have anything for non-agenda items, that's item number 5 on the agenda. Item number 3 is amendments of the agenda. This will be for the formal. Do we have any amendments to the formal agenda? We good? Okay. We're going to move on to item number 4, consent agenda. This is A through L. And I'm going to just read the listings really quick for the record, so bear with me. A, bill listing dated October 26, 2015, in the amount of $1,258,485.36. Minutes from Village COW meeting for October 12, 2015. C, minutes from the Village Formal Board meeting for October 12, 2015. D, first and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the procedures for administration for administrative adjudication to comply with Public Act 990293. E, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing an engineering services agreement between the Village of Villa Park and RJN Group Incorporated for the engineering design services for the 2016 sewer rehab program at a cost of $98,930. F, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. G, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a license agreement for a portion of the Ardmore Avenue public right-of-way between the Village of Villa Park and the owner of 1635 South Ardmore Avenue in Villa Park, Illinois. H, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a license agreement for a portion of the public alley between the Village of Villa Park and the owner of 133 East Congress Street, Villa Park, Illinois. I, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, establishing the regular meeting dates of the Village of Villa Park Board of Trustees for calendar year 2016. J, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a holiday schedule for 2016. K, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, urging the Governor and General Assembly to protect full funding of Local Government Distributive Fund, LGDF, revenues. And L, finally, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, urging the Governor and General Assembly to protect full funding of motor fuel tax. Do I have a motion on the consent agenda?
Madam President,
Good.
move for the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
Madam President?
Yep.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we're going to do a roll call vote on that.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
President Bowie?
Yes. Okay, item number 5 is public comments and non-agenda items. This is your opportunity to come to the podium and speak about anything on your mind that's non-agenda related. Anybody? Nope. Okay, and moving on to item number 6, Village Clerk's report. Do you have anything for us tonight?
No report tonight, thank you.
Okay. Village Trustees report, item number 7. I'm going to start to my right.
Nothing
Trustee
tonight.
Bolfus? Okay. Trustee Taglia, there you are.
No report.
No report? Okay. Trustee Case?
No report.
Okay. To my left, Trustee Gazone, you have anything?
I just got one thing,
Okay.
Thanksgiving's coming up, and big event in Elmhurst is the Dan Givens Turkey Trot, which I've been a
Yeah.
part of for a long time. November 26th is Thanksgiving Day. The race starts at 9 o'clock sharp. Pre-registration is November 21st at the Knights of Columbus in Elmhurst, and information is at dangivensturkeytrot.com. So last year we had
Great.
about 8,000 runners, and hopefully keep it going this year.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's all.
Good. Okay. Trustee Wagner.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple of things. Just want to let members of the public know that the Environmental Concerns Commission will be participating in a pumpkin composting, pumpkin recycling event. There'll be a dumpster receptacle near Public Works behind the Village Hall, and folks can bring their pumpkins to be composted, and rather than let them kind of disintegrate on your porch step, this would be a good idea. And that's Saturday, November 7th, from 9 a.m. to noon.
Okay.
And just want to let folks know, I think I have the date correct, the Villa Park Historical Society is going to have a program on Sunday, November 1st at 2 p.m. on Rosie the Riveter. And that's an interesting program. If folks don't know who Rosie the Riveter was, she was a woman who was helped with, there were many women involved in the war effort and working in factories, and she kind of became an iconic figure for that. So they're going to be talking about that. I had a question of staff. I heard about or read about the incident that occurred on Division Street where there was some carbon monoxide poisoning. Thankfully, there were no fatalities, and involved, I think, a furnace that failed. What is our procedure before we let residents reoccupy that space when we have an incident like that?
Thank you, Your Honor. Before they can reoccupy that space, obviously, the deficiency needs to be corrected, inspected, and then they're allowed to reoccupy the space. For that particular resident, that property, we tagged that for non-occupancy until the venting of the furnace was corrected. And at that point, obviously, would be inspected by our inspection staff and released if it was safe to come back in. Director Grill, would you like to add anything?
We have been in contact with the owner of that particular structure. They have had an HVAC guy come out, take a look. The furnace does need to be replaced. They understand that reoccupancy of the unit cannot occur until after that has all been corrected. So at this point, we're just awaiting application for a permit to do a new HVAC system.
Interesting.
Thank you, that's all I had.
All right, great question, thank you.
Would you like Chief Ron to come up
Sure.
and kind of explain?
Sure.
Chief Ron, would you come up a little bit and kind of talk a little bit about it and maybe some carbon monoxide safety discussion? Some folks at home may not have realized what's taken place.
Okay, I'll just talk about what happened on that Sunday, then I'll go into what people can do to be safe. It was about 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. We got an ambulance call for a 15-year-old female with a headache, real bad headache, and feeling nauseous, like she was going to vomit. So she asked her parents or a guardian if she could, if they could call for an ambulance. When she mentioned that, everybody else started to say the same thing. I don't feel good. I don't feel right. So when our paramedics pulled up, two guys on the ambulance, there were about 5 or 6 people outside complaining of the same symptoms. So which is a headache, nausea, a little bit of vertigo, which is like being dizzy. So they call for additional help. So the engine gets there. They got their carbon monoxide monitor. Now carbon monoxide is odorless, tasteless. You can't smell it, you can't see it, you can't taste it. So it's kind of like a hidden killer, I guess you could call it. So our guys entered the house at the door, the main door, and they had 300 parts per million. Now 300 parts per million of carbon monoxide after about 3 or 4 hours could make you very, very sick. They entered the building with their air packs on, their oxygen masks on their back. They went downstairs by the furnace room. They encountered 1,100 parts per million in the basement in the furnace room. 1,100 parts per million after 1 or 2 hours is lethal. How nobody was succumbed to the odor or to the gas, deceased, whatever you want to call it, is shocking because it's a tremendously high amount of carbon monoxide. So what our guys did then is made sure everybody was out of the home, and there was 11 people in that home in different parts of the house. We know somebody was downstairs, not sure if it was the 15-year-old girl because the TV was on and there was some remnants of like a breakfast. So somebody had to be right there, at least for some amount of time. So what we did is we shut the gas off. We contacted NIGAS or NICOR. We locked the gas meter. We contacted the building department through Jan Fiola. And we asked that they have a building inspector stop by first thing Monday morning to look at the house and to see what we have done and then to tag it, to put an orange tag or a red tag on it so they can't inhabit the house. So by state law requires that a carbon monoxide as well as a smoke detector be in your home. That's since 2007. It's the responsibility of the homeowner or the landlord in this case to provide them a detector, smoke detector, carbon monoxide, and it's the tenant's responsibility to maintain it. We did not see one in the home. We didn't hear one going off in the home. Not sure if there was one there or not. Our biggest responsibility was to get the people out and to get them to the hospital. We had 7 ambulances there from neighboring towns, including ours. So it was a big, big deal with a great outcome. It could have been terrible. It really could. They're very, very fortunate, and we just cannot specify how important it is to have active working smoke detectors, active working carbon monoxide detectors, and make sure they work. Don't just have them in your home. Make sure they work. They can be tested. You know, a lot of things happen when we go from summer to winter. You know, people don't always check their furnaces. We find, and I've been around a long time, that if you don't have a cap on your chimney, animals get cold too, so they'll go up where there's heat. They'll be by the top of the chimney, feeling that heat, feeling good, and then they pop in, and then they block the stack. So if you don't have a cap, get a cap, check your furnace, make sure you have a working smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector. If you have any questions, call the village manager. No, call me at the fire station, 630-833-5350, or get us on the web, whatever you want to do. But it's so important to have an active working detector, smoke and carbon monoxide. So a great outcome, but it could have been very, very terrible. It really could have.
Very scary.
Thanks, Chief.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Chief, was that a single-family home?
Yeah, single-family home.
11 people living in there? Were they?
There was 11 people there.
There, okay. Is that one thing we're going to check on then, and make sure?
That's up to community development.
Yeah.
I just report what I see, and we go from there.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Carbon monoxide, is that heavy gas or a light gas?
You know what,
Does it go down or?
It's slightly lighter than air. Just like if air is 1.0, carbon monoxide is 0.9, so it will lift.
Okay.
And you got to remember, it's usually heated, so it's going to
It
even
keeps
rise
gonna
even
rise.
more so. Yeah.
Now, I
That's
know-
why a lot of times the hot water tank goes into a chimney and it's gravity up the stack. In this case, the furnace vented outside, out the wall.
I assume that
Probably
was a
improper.
high-efficiency furnace, or?
It was not.
Then that's a problem, yeah. So, apparently, this wrong installation. I know how to test a smoke alarm in a house by pushing the button.
There's a button on a carbon monoxide detector.
There is a button?
Yes.
Okay, just so the residents know, so, okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Anybody else? No? Are they battery operated? Can they be plugged in?
They're plugged in with a battery backup, most of them. right?
Okay. And you can get them at Ace Hardware,
Yeah,
pretty
probably
much
any
anywhere,
Home
right?
Depot, Ace Hardware.
Yep.
You know, my house, I have 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
They're supposed to
Good
be
idea.
within 15 feet of any sleeping area as well, so.
Oh, okay.
Just keep in mind, and I tell people, even with smoke detectors, if you got one in your basement, and it goes off, you may not hear it if you're a heavy sleeper. So, you know, new smoke detectors, one beeps, they all beep.
Yeah.
I don't think carbon monoxides are there yet, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they all should be, because my wife probably wouldn't wake up, she'd be asleep.
Yeah, I know, I probably wouldn't wake
We
up.
won't tell her you said
But
that.
I love it.
I
I probably wouldn't even wake up. I mean, if it's a little beep, you know, I probably wouldn't even wake up.
Well, if you hear a little beep, a lot of times that's, you know, low battery.
Yeah.
It'll beep pretty loud and pretty
Okay.
fast to
Yeah.
get your attention.
Yeah.
And they even make smoke detectors that they'll light up too, for like the hearing impaired.
Right.
They'll light up.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow. Okay. Any other, I think we're still with Trustee Wagner. You good?
Yep, I appreciate those
Okay,
responses.
great. Just making sure. All right, great. Thank you. Okay, item number 8, Village Manager's Report. What do you have for us tonight?
Well, thank you, Your Honor. I think a lot of my list was covered.
Oh.
I just want to point out to folks at home and the board and to folks in the audience that it won't be too long until we shut off the drinking fountains on the Prairie Path. November 1st they'll be shut off, so you still have a few more days to use those.
Sunday.
I know several runners were asking me, so. Also, our next board meeting's November 9th, and then the following board meeting will be on November 16th and that's due to Thanksgiving, so we moved that second board meeting forward. And I believe there's only one meeting in December, if I'm not mistaken. And then board, we do have, we placed a memo on your seat this evening that was directed to me from Attorney Benninger concerning the Opens Meetings Act and our steering committee for the zoning update. And the steering committee is considered part of a regular committee, and therefore its meetings should be open and posted and advertised and et cetera. So that's what will be taking place. And I just want to let everyone know that, so that you can be aware that you can attend these meetings in the future. They'll be advertised, plenty of notice, and you can come and listen and offer some comment just like any other public meeting. And unless the board wants to change the steering committee, but that's the way it should operate. And I believe that Attorney Orr and I have talked about BYOB, which is Bring Your Own Beverage, to businesses within Villa Park. This was brought up, I believe, by Trustee Aiello a couple of meetings ago. And so I have tasked Attorney Orr of developing an appropriate ordinance for board's consideration, but I believe, and I don't want to speak for Attorney Orr, but she may have some questions this evening for some direction. So thank you, Your Honor.
She does, yes. Okay, great, thank you. So with that, then, we'll move on to the village attorney's report.
So, BYOB, there's several issues. The suggestion was that a BYOB would be used for licensed cigar parlors, smoking parlors, whatever you call them. But if you're going to do a BYOB for them, how do you distinguish that as a recreation from any other recreation? So if you have a BYOB for a smoking parlor, why not for a theater? Why not for, I was thinking, my recreation is my hair salon. I mean, where does it end? Number two, to do that, you would also have to, right? Right. You would also, we would believe, require dram shop insurance, because even though it's BYOB, you are still, in fact, the owner would be responsible. Therefore, we'd have to go through the regular license procedures for BYOB, just because the business operator is not procuring the liquor. The responsibility should be there, and the same mandates should be there. So my question is, should there be a corking charge? And should it be all recreational uses if they're within commercial zones? I mean, we're talking about, when you talk about BYOB, unless you limit it, as some towns do, to restaurants who have applications in process, or any other regular licensed server of alcoholic beverages. For doing BYOB, I think, all due respect, Manager Keener, but as an assignment, I do need direction from this board, because you are talking about something that opens up a whole new use of alcoholic beverages. So, I mean, would
Can I
you?
ask a question?
Yeah.
No, Tim, go ahead.
Is BYOB legal if there's no rules against it?
No, the state law says.
Is it state law?
It's not talking, state law says sell or serve.
Right.
So if you're serving it, well, because you bring in your bottle, you're still serving it. Which brings up another question. Should the city mandate a corking charge so that it's not something that's widely used? One of the other requests that I've made, and I'm sure it'll come to Villa Park, we are far more artistic than many other towns, is applications for liquor licenses for arts studios where they give their lessons. You paint and you have a glass of wine. Several of the towns have undertaken those kinds of licenses, but curiously enough, the actual provider of the services have refused to go forward when they realize you have to have dram shop insurance and you have to go through the entire licensing process. So it is
So
an
it's not
assignment.
allowed.
Pardon me?
It's not allowed. BYOB is not allowed.
By who?
Currently. Currently, BYOB is not
Currently,
lawful.
it is not.
Okay, that's all I asked.
Yeah, currently it is not. And if it is, I need some parameters and I need some guidance. But it wouldn't seem logical to just allow one facility which provides entertainment or recreation or, I don't know, I don't smoke anymore, so I can't tell you what it is. So, that's right. Oh, if this is your oh, you're in bad shape. We'll talk later. But if this is your entertainment, can we all bring our own?
Oh, boy.
Would the board be able to invite?
Yeah, that's right. No. So I don't know. BYOB is, it's not a simple process. It's not as simple. Where you have a regular liquor license, you have a individual business owner or corporation that is totally responsible, has insurance, has total liability, amount of liquor being served, over-serving is against the law, serving to persons underage is against the law, and so all of these things would need apply. And so that's where BYOB, I need some parameters before I just jump in with both feet.
Well, Madam President.
Any initial thoughts?
I noticed that from what I've researched a little bit, some communities limit it to places who serve food.
Yes.
So even though the request comes from a cigar shop.
Right.
Can you specify which type of places you would allow it in? Like, could you say, smoking lounges?
Yes.
And places that serve food?
Yes.
So you could be specific in that.
Liquor, serving of liquor and licenses is a privilege. However, how do you then, when your theater operator comes to you and says, I'm watching a movie, I'm not, I mean, that's my concern. And
well, we could address that when a theater came to town.
okay.
So,
I'm thinking of a drama group theater.
That's true. That's a good
performances
point.
by a theater group, more than a movie.
See, I didn't think of that one. So I would be in favor of a corking fee. So that'd be my personal opinion. So. And then we'd have to decide if we did go ahead with it, what the license would cost.
Correct. You're right.
So. This isn't just as simple as just saying.
No, that's why I said, all due respect, Manager Keener, where do we go with this? Yeah, where do we go with this?
Trustee Wagner.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like my own preference is that we limit it to restaurants, places that serve food.
All right, and the other problem when you limit it to restaurants is, are you hurting your other restaurants so that people can bring their own wine? Are we're not City of Chicago in terms of size and number of restaurants, so they have certain parameters for BYOB, and I can research that. But here, if you're allowed to do BYOB and you're not, does that hurt one business or give one business an advantage over the other? Those are the things. You can see why I'm in a
Well,
quandary.
the restaurants aren't asking. I think it's the cigar shop. Is that right?
Just one.
Yeah.
Just one.
Which then
Right.
opens the door to only a cigar shop.
It's just,
There are exceptions to the state law on smoking, and the one shop that we do have in the village was grandfathered in terms of not being a standalone. It was there, and so it was grandfathered not by anything this village has done, but by the state law. And now it has to, any allowed approved smoking has to be licensed, has to be Patrick can even get more specific on the rules. There are rules, but they are allowed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they
I'm sorry,
no,
you
yeah.
can't,
Yeah.
you can't speak, you can't speak from there. You have to come to the podium.
Unless you're entertained.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Any other
Well,
I need to do some more research.
I would need
on
some
that.
time to figure that out.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what the questions are to ask, besides the ones you've just.
Well, then, with your permission, I will prepare a memo, which Manager Keener will distribute with a list of questions
That'd be helpful.
that I think we can. And then, depending on how that response comes in, maybe I can put together a draft. And we would definitely want to limit it to certain zoning codes, you
Yes.
know, because someone who does my hairdresser in the basement is different from a commercial area, so that you don't want to have.
Okay.
So that would be
So
helpful.
thank you for your time, and I will proceed with that.
Memo is okay, at least to get it started. I know there's a lot to consider with this, but, all right, we're all good? We're good with the memo then? We're good with the memo? Okay. Guess we'll get it started. Okay, great. Thank you. This village attorney's report. Okay, item number 10 on the formal, consider executive session, closed session. A, 5 ILCS 120-2, C5, purchase or lease of property. B, 5 ILCS 120-2, C6, sale or lease of property. I have a motion to convene to exec session.
Madam President,
Trustee
make
Volpes.
a motion for executive session.
Okay, do I have a second?
Madam President,
Trustee Wagner.
I'd like to second that motion.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote then on that.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
President Bowie?
Yes, okay, we will convene.
Madam President, can I just make a comment before we go into executive session?
I guess so, yeah,
If
sure.
that's okay. if
Yeah,
that's
I think
in
that's
order.
okay. That'd be
With
great.
respect to the steering committee,
No problem.
this committee is very important. They're going to do a comprehensive review of our ordinances. And there's a website set up by Duncan and Associates. It's called villaparkordinances.com. And if you're interested in getting updates about the steering committee or want to read the document that is kind of getting them all started, kind of reviews their suggested changes, you can go and put your email address in. They'll send you updates. And so, yeah, it's villaparkordinances.com.
Okay.
And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Yeah, great. Thank you, no problem. So now we are going to be going into exec session, and we will adjourn following exec session. So, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's